Good morning.
Morning.
You're Mike. I'm Mark. I first, here in Southside Chattanooga, I first saw you riding your bike around the city, around the neighborhood, and it was profound. I saw you carrying your crutches, and I looked again and I saw, wow, he's pedaling with one foot because his other leg is amputated at the knee. I thought, what's that guy about? What's that? I assumed you lived around here somewhere, but I hadn't seen you in the neighborhood before. And then one day I realized you were living in an abandoned building here. I'm like, I got to talk to that guy, find out what's going on. So Mike, are you from Chattanooga?
Yeah, I was born and raised in Chattanooga area.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Grew up here. What happened? How come you became disabled?
I moved to Colorado and I lived out there for a few years. I lived in Leadville, Colorado. It's a high city, United States.
I know it, yeah.
Elevation's a little over 10,000 feet. And sometimes whenever you move from a low elevation like this to a high elevation, it can cause you to get blood clots, altitude deprivation. That's what happened.
You got blood clots. Okay, I'll just keep this right here as a backup for us.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So you were in Leadville, and it wasn't an accident like an industrial accident. It was a medical condition.
Yeah.
Blood clots.
Yeah.
I had a friend that died from blood clots in his leg that went to his lungs. It's a very serious
Oh, yeah.
thing.
Yeah. I woke up one morning, I was fine the day before. Woke up one morning and pretty much just woke up the next day in hospital with my leg cut off.
Wow. Yeah, Leadville is an interesting town. It's has such a raw history. My father has some stories to tell about when he was there. When it was right after the Second World War, and he lived there for a while. Worked in the mine for a short time.
Yeah, I enjoyed living
I would have guessed that you were working in the mine in Leadville, or
there.
no, nothing so dramatic.
No.
So when did you come back to Chattanooga then?
Not long after I lost my leg. Like, I don't know, 6 months or a year after I lost my leg.
So, we pay a lot of taxes and stuff for disability for people to be taken care of. I mean, in our country, that's may not be luxury, but at least we do something to try to take care of the people, our society. What's happened with you and disability and?
Well, they told me at the hospital that they were going to apply for me, and evidently they never did that. And then they told me again at another hospital that they were going to do it for me, and I guess they never did that. So I haven't done it. I haven't went and done it. I rely on my community more than my government. You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of people say are my friends. A lot of the businesses, will help me out if I need something to eat, or local places usually.
Seems like we have these social workers that are supposed to make those connections, and that's their job, is to get people connected to the resources.
Right. And they're not very good at it. That's all I can really say.
Huh.
They're just not too good at it. They I don't know, they act like they're doing you some kind of big huge favor for doing their own job. For doing what they get paid for. They act like they're doing you some big favor.
How long have you been houseless?
Oh wow, that's been a long time. See, I had a place for a year, but out of that year, I was in the hospital for 6 months. Out of that year, so I past, I don't know, 5 or 6 years, I guess, I had a place for a year.
Yeah. And then family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think you got family alive here in town?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, they know about your situation, obviously, and for whatever reasons, you're not able to stay with them.
Yeah, I guess for whatever reasons, yeah.
Yeah, we'll leave that to your privacy. So, Chattanooga has such a huge homeless population. I mean, the tent cities and everything. And so, here I am, this average white, sort of middle class, and we observe people and their stereotypes and brief encounters with homeless people. And I mean, in this part of town, I get asked for money regularly. And some of them are just obviously on abusing, strung out on some substance.
Mm-hmm.
But not everyone.
No.
Not everyone at all. The people I've talked to and gotten to know, like you, are not. And I think it's just a really important thing to note,
I guess whenever you become homeless and you lose everything that you have, and you really don't have any family back, helping you or talking to you, or really think you have any friends, you kind of just turn to something, I've been there,
Mm-hmm.
like drugs or alcohol, to kind of give you the motivation to even get up and live, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have nothing else, and that's what happens to a lot of people.
That's very understandable. So when you were young, what kind of life did you have before your accident, illness? Were you ever sports, or did you ski in Leadville?
Yeah, I enjoyed skiing. I played baseball, football, basketball, stuff like that when I was a kid.
What about music? What's your favorite music?
I pretty much like all music. I really don't care for country music too much, but
Uh-huh.
too depressing. But I listen to just about everything else.
What was the last concert you went to see?
I never been to actual concert, so.
Oh, really?
I've been to Riverbend a bunch of times, but
Oh, that's a concert.
I guess LL Cool J.
Okay, LL Cool J.
I think that was the last one I saw. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, anyone you would love to see? You haven't seen?
I don't know, I'm not much on concerts.
Do you ever go to? There's a bunch of free stuff here in town. And do you ever take the city up on that? Do you ever go to Nightfall?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I go to Nightfall almost every week.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see you there then, because I'm there all the time too.
Yeah, I usually just go over and look at all the motorcycles and cars.
Mm-hmm. So you're probably in the back. I'm always right up front. Cool. That's, because not all of the homeless people do that. I've met people, they just kind of like, well, that's for other people. And there's this identity that seems to get formed. Well, I'm part of the outcast. That's for the.
Right, and that's how most of us feel about things like that. Yeah, don't necessarily feel welcome. You know what I'm saying?
What do you feel about your future? You think what could possibly be in your future?
I have no idea. The disability thing. I don't know if that's something I want to do. I made it this long without doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like you said, you see me riding my bike. I'm really not too disabled. I think I could probably work. I'll see if I can get a job.
In 2018, about, I'm trying to remember the year exactly. My job is carpentry, and my whole career has been based on my ability to do physical work.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had some back problems, and I had a surgery in 2016 for my spine, and wow, it was so right for me, so I was able to resume work. And then about 2 years later, my left knee started going out. And first it was gradual, and then one day it tore. The cartilage in there just went, and I could hardly walk. I started using crutches, and it scared me the day I realized I was disabled. I could not go to work. It just scared me to my core. It's like, what am I going to do? I cannot go to work. Who's going to pay the rent? I mean, I felt like, okay, homeless, here we go. I was a month away.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't take much, you know. Most people don't realize that.
But I did. I got to see a social worker, and she told me how to apply for food stamps, and I got some help with my electric bill. And and then I got a knee replacement surgery in December 2019. So I have an artificial knee. But I think that for those of us but you have a mind, and you have so much more you can do besides physical labor.
Yeah, you know, pretty much my entire life I was the same way. I always relied on my physical abilities and not so much my mental abilities, you know. I guess since I, lost my leg, I had to try to rely more on my mental abilities, which isn't, very high. So it's been a little difficult. Assistance-wise, I could have used assistance right away. If I'd had assistance right away, maybe I'd never become homeless, But there wasn't anything to get right away to help, so it just kind of led into that quickly.
Is there anything you would like to say to the people of Chattanooga, Tennessee? If you could say, look, folks, here's what you need to understand about me and other homeless people.
I mean, try to be understanding, if you've never been there, you just don't know, I got in an argument with a homeless person a long time ago on Market Street. Me and some friends were going to eat at 212, which was a nice restaurant. And this guy asked one of my friends for some money, and I got in an argument with him. And I think about that a lot. Because I see how people kind of react, to us like I reacted to that guy, and I just didn't know. I didn't know what it was like and how hard it really is. I mean, just getting up every day, just knowing what all you got to do just to get something to eat, finding somewhere to take a shower is hard. Having all the stuff that you need, soap and shampoo and all that stuff is, not easy to come by all the time. So,
Yeah.
Even if somebody is asking you for money, for whatever reason, it doesn't matter. Even if you think they're drunk or on drugs or whatever, I mean, if you can afford to help somebody, I feel like you should try to help them, and just, do it out of the kindness of your heart, Try not to judge,
Yeah. Well, thanks for that message. Well, I think there's a lot of people that would love to see you have a fruitful life, that you're somehow you're able to make the most of what you have and do something, have a wonderful, whatever you desire in your life. So I can't think of any more questions to ask. I just thank you for sharing your story with us. So informal on my recordings. Yeah, I hope to see you down at Nightfall and hope you get to find whatever it is you need. I see you got is that a sports ring or a class ring or something you got
Which one?
on your, oh, you got two of them. Just rings? No, they're
Just
not
rings.
like a Super Bowl ring or anything,
No,
right?
no. Just rings.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, well, thank you, Mike, and I will turn this off now.
Okay.
If I can do that. It was pretty short. Come here, little thing.